In this traveling edition of Lake Log, I'm in the Ocala National Forest, and Mango and I are going to explore one of the smaller lakes here. It's a lake called Clear Lake. Not very big, but we're going to look at some things and maybe even take a look below the surface. Let's see how that works out. Woo. Oh, Mango needs to lose some weight. A lot of mosquitoes here. So I'm in the Ocala National Forest. And yesterday, my lovely wife Jeanette and I took Mango up the Silver River.
We started our trip at Ray Wayside Park, just west of the Ocala Bridge on State Road 40. There's a boat ramp there, bathrooms, and the use fee is only $5. From there, it was up the short channel to meet with the Silver River, just below the point where it merges with the Ocala. Paddling upstream, we worked our way through the winding channel of the river, watching as the water became more and more clear. It appears that we were really moving, but the river's flow is gentle, and so we didn't have to paddle very hard. The natural cypress swamp on either side of the river is quiet and well respected. And although the Silver River is well traveled, I did not see one single piece of trash along the way.
Good morning.
Seen any manatee?
Not yet.
Oh, we haven't seen them out yet. Way up there. We have 6. Look.
We really wanted to see manatees and were disappointed that the tourist boat hadn't spotted any. But we were enjoying every minute anyway. It was a beautiful morning with a chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon, so we were glad we started early. There is so much to see along the way and so little human influence on the landscape that you can easily imagine what it was like when indigenous Americans paddled their giant cypress canoes on the Silver River hundreds of years ago. And then some passing kayakers pointed out a manatee just as Jeanette got a FaceTime call from our daughter Marina.
It sure is.
I was ready to move Mango out of the way as the huge vegetarian was happily munching, but it completely ignored us. We got back just as the afternoon storms closed out a perfect day, and I was eager to launch Mango into Clear Lake the next morning.
Clear Lake is not particularly atypical of the lakes in this area. It's a small lake, more like a pond. It's a very quiet place. There's not a lot of people up here right now. In fact, there's just about nobody. But it's very much like the lakes in this area. Florida lakes tend to be shallow. It's in a fairly pristine state. It doesn't get a lot of runoff other than the natural rain runoff through the forest. And so it's particularly beautiful, and it's fairly clear. It's a popular area for sandhill cranes, which is what you just heard.
Back in 2012, I spent a few very chilly November mornings in a canoe photographing some sandhills foraging, until they were fed up with me and flew off. I have fond memories of that trip, reinforced by the images I captured.
I would say that was probably a warning. I think that sandhill was trying to chase me away. That was pretty cool. The Ocala National Forest is over 600 square miles of sand pine forest, scrubland, wetland hammocks, and strangely enough, there are over 600 lakes, ponds, rivers, springs, or other kind of water features here in the National Forest. So the easy math would be almost 1 per square mile. It's a humid day in October, and I'm really glad to be out here because the bank was absolutely swarming with mosquitoes. I'm happy to be away from them. This area that we're in right now is usually dry, or if it's got any water at all, it's marshy. But there's been so much rain up here, the water here is actually quite deep. The Ocala National Forest is home to white-tailed deer and black bear, wild boar, armadillos, possums, raccoons, bobcats. There are some coyotes here in the National Forest, I believe. Lots of alligators, and an enormous amount of bird life. Clear Lake is not typically a popular area for wading birds, but the sandhill cranes really do like it here. And I think when it's marshy enough, they'll hang out here quite a bit. So why are places like Clear Lake in the Ocala National Forest important? If you really want an answer to that obvious question, you have to think about this. When was the last time you loaded your family up in a minivan and went to a landfill site for a vacation? Exactly. Clear Lake does have some vacation cottages around it, but there are also some permanent residents here. And the reason for that is that the borderline of the Ocala National Forest zigzags through here. You probably can hear traffic on nearby State Road 40, which is a busy east-west connection between Ormond Beach and the city of Ocala. So it's remarkable to me that we can be just off the road, only a couple tenths of a mile from a local gas station, mini mart, and we can also feel like we're in the middle of nowhere.
The next morning, we rented a kayak and launched Mango into the headwaters of the Silver River at Silver Springs State Park. It's a 5-mile run downstream to where Jeanette and I started our upriver trip, but this time we didn't go very far at all. The Silver River is part of the outstanding Florida waters group of protected sites. It's crystal clear and a constant 72 degrees, and the springhead pumps out hundreds of millions of gallons of water every day. It's a perfect fish tank. We started at the top, and we've got our daughter Marina with us today, and we're the first ones on the river, and it is absolutely fantastic.
That was cool, huh?